Khvicha Kvaratskhelia is one of the best and most underrated wingers in the world right now. His story is amazing as he comes from Georgia, a country which very rarely produces good footballers. How do you go from being a nobody to playing on the world stage in under a year? Khvicha was born in Tbilisi, Georgia in 2001. His father, Kvaratskhelia, was also a professional footballer in his country and represented the national team. This gave his son a bit of recognition, and at 11 years old, Khvicha joined the youth academy of his dad's former side, Dynamo Tbilisi, who compete in the top flight of Georgian football. As their league is vastly unknown, we don't know much about Khvicha's early years. However, at just 16 years old, he began playing for the senior team and ended his debut season with 1 goal in 4 games. His exceptional talent caught the eye of international scouts who took him to the next level by calling him up for the Georgia under-17s. He thrived here too, winning a golden medal for the most talented player of that year. In March 2018, contract issues between Khvicha and his club Dynamo paved his exit, and with all the Georgian teams looking to recruit him, Kvarat joined Rustavi, another Georgian club. It was here where Kvarat's national attention started to work its way out of Georgia. Despite scoring just 3 goals in 18 games in that season, the playmaking abilities and flair of Khvicha was something that had not been seen since Georgian Kvaratskhelia was around. Khvicha's name grew even bigger as he was in the crowd for a Bayern Munich Champions League match. The few people that recognised him spoke very highly of him, and his name then spread around the stadium. Khvicha's name was quickly getting out there, and his reputation got an even bigger boost when a mainstream newspaper named him among 60 of the best young footballers worldwide. Khvicha's ability was too good for the Georgian league, but not quite good enough for the giant leagues, so he took a small step up to join Russian Premier League side Lokomotiv Moscow on a loan deal, just to prove he can do it outside of Georgia. While Khvicha scored just the 1 goal in 7, the Lokomotiv manager was extremely disappointed to not get Khvicha on a permanent move, and apparently even cried about it, as his talent for his age was something he had never seen before. That being said, Khvicha stayed in Russia, committing long-term to Rubin Kazan, where he played and scored in his debut match against his previous club Lokomotiv. By 2021, Kvaratskhelia was named the best young player in the entire league. On the international stage, Khvicha ended 2021 scoring 5 goals in 12 for the senior national team. Khvicha's recognition caught the eye of many Serie A clubs who were preparing to buy him. Juventus were leading the race, with Napoli and Roma not too far behind. Of course, Rubin were asking for a huge amount of money, which the giant teams didn't want to risk paying for a player with 14 goals across 5 years. But then, in March of 2022, Russia sadly invaded Ukraine, which made FIFA announce that foreign players in Russia are allowed to suspend their own contracts and leave the country. So soon after, Khvicha safely returned to Georgia, then joined Dinamo Batumi, where he would go on to score 8 goals in 11 games and pick up the Player of the Season award. Almost every club at this point in Europe were willing to take the chance and sign Khvicha up. Tottenham Hotspur actually now had the most interest, and it was almost a done deal, but Tottenham being Tottenham pulled out in the last moment. Serie A side Napoli intercepted the deal by pitching the best journey to Khvicha, and the Italian club would pay 11 million euros for his signature, which was huge money for his old Georgian team. Many feared this was a step too big for Khvicha. However, on his debut for the club in August 2022, he came on as a substitute and bagged a goal and assist. The following game, he grabbed another 2 goals. It did not take long at all for the Georgian winger to top the Serie A top scorers list, and the Napoli fans were all over it. For once being named the Georgian Messi, the Azuris hailed him as Kvaradona, which is the biggest honour any Napoli player could take. After all, No player comes close to receiving the love and respect Maradona got from the Napoli fans. The stadium is even named in his honour. After picking up 2 Player of the Match trophies, Kvaradona impressed in the Champions League, helping Napoli get all the way to the quarterfinals and providing 2 goals on the way. It is no coincidence either that with Khvicha now in the team, Napoli went on to win their first league title since Diego Maradona was their player in 1990. Even before the end of the season, Khvicha has introduced himself by grabbing a total of 14 goals and 17 assists in what was meant to be a test to see whether he can play in a big league. Khvicha Kvaratskhelia even became the first ever player to score over 10 goals and more than 10 assists in his debut Serie A season. In fact, he's even the first ever player to achieve 10 goals and 10 assists in his very first season in the top 5 leagues since Diego in 2006-07, according to Opta. What's more is he achieved this feat by March. Tactically, Khvicha has been deployed on the left wing this season, which has squeezed out the best of his creative dribbling and fast runs to exploit spaces where he can create goal-scoring opportunities for both him and his teammates. In my eyes, Khvicha is a proper street footballer, and what I mean by that is he has excellent technique, thanks to the fact he is 2-footed and can take the ball practically wherever he wants. I also think he stands out because of his confidence, something which is hard to carry as a young baller, especially when you arguably have the expectations of the great Maradona to succumb to. Khvicha is so composed on the pitch and always maintains focus and makes the perfect decision on the pitch almost every single time, something which helps him fit into a title-winning side of Napoli. The capabilities of Khvicha allow him to perfectly link up with the other ballers in the team, namely Zielinski, Lozano and Ocean Man. He kind of reminds me of Adel Taarabt. What a player he was. Comment below if you remember him. Anyhow, Napoli now have the challenge to hold on to their player, as his market value is at least 85 million euros and growing. Barcelona and Real Madrid are of course 2 out of the many giant teams looking to secure his services. It is secretly known that Khvicha is a Madridista. Khvicha even expressed his desire to play for them. My biggest dream is to win the Champions League with Real Madrid. I've been a Real Madrid fan since I was a child. With my brothers, we were always watching their games. Although his agent reckoned a move to Barca would suit him better. His father, Badri, and I are fans of Barcelona, but Kvara loves Madrid. He's a player who has what it takes to play at that level. He's good enough to play for any team in the world. If I saw him in that Barca shirt, I'd be very happy, but he's a Madridista. Khvicha was also born in 2001, meaning he grew up watching Cristiano Ronaldo, one of his main idols, along with Guti Hernandez. Guti even said about Khvicha, "What can I say to him? Maybe I could send him an autographed shirt of mine if he comes to Madrid, so he doesn't have to write on it the number 14 I used to wear." Fortunately for Napoli, I don't see Real Madrid signing Khvicha, as they already have Vinny Jr. tearing it up on the left. Perhaps with the power spending and attraction of the Premier League, Khvicha might wander there, but not Tottenham. But is Kvaratskhelia's journey as inspiring as Kevin De Bruyne's? You must find out by clicking this video on screen.